So it takes me to my fourth trade in the trading challenge, and this is one where I finally made money on GSI. So my comments on this was, actually let's go to my trading notebook. It's a little more handy. I have a better view of the chart because I take a picture of it. That I highly recommend this actually. I will use the snipping tool right here, as you can kind of see, and I will do that of the chart the day I trade it, so that way I have the intraday charting, because that just helps me in the future. So anyway, I put these buy and sell. I pretty much know exactly what happens because I was there. So January 4th, I believe this was the first day the market opened after the new year, and I bought this. So this was an interesting stock. This was on the percent gainers. This was General Steel Holdings. I just bought this on the percent gainers, roughly mid 10:30. So I bought it right here. It actually got halted. So it was on the percent gainers. I'm looking at the stock. It's right here where my cursor is. It was halted. So I was waiting. I was like, I knew from watching webinars and lessons and DVDs of Tim that after halts, it usually kills momentum and it just tanks. So I was afraid to buy it, but as you can see, by this really long wick, it dropped all the way back down to 190-ish, and it comes flying back up. And I was like, if it breaks through this on strong volume, I'm going to do it. And as you can see, the candle was red, but the volume was high. It was the highest of the day. This is a 1-minute chart. And I bought in at 2:30, and I was like, all right, sweet. And then it just went green. Candles were going green. I was like, holy crap. My palms were sweating. The adrenaline was going. I was like, I'm in my first profitable trade. I can't believe it. And then all of a sudden, I was like, I'm gonna sell at 280. And this is another lesson learned. I got greedy. I was like, I didn't take profits at 280, and it goes up to like 309, and it gets halted again for volatility. So I was like, shit. I was mad. I was like, I'm gonna lose all my profits because I know, again, like I said right here, when a stock gets halted, it kills the momentum. And it's like it's gonna open up down, it's gonna gap down when it gets when the halt gets removed, and I'm gonna lose it. So I IM'd one of the chat moderators, Michael Good, one of Tim Sykes' millionaire students, and he said, just set your limit pretty low. He said, set it at 280, and you should get filled. And I was like, all right, fine. So I just did it, which was my original plan anyway. I set it at 280, and somehow I got a miraculous fill of 309. So basically, I got 30 more cents per share than I expected, and I got out. And then the stock basically tanked the rest of the day. I pretty much sold it at the high. I believe the high was 316. I'll take it. I'm not fighting that. And it came back down, and then this was getting volatile again. As you can see, though, this time when the stock reopened, it did jump down and come back down to 280, and then it got halted the rest of the day. Halted rest of the day for news by the SEC. So it did not reopen the rest of the day. So I was glad to get out of that one, and I was glad to be profitable. So as you can see, my comments on this one was I bought the stock off the percent gainers in Yahoo Finance. There was no news that I could find. I bought into the pullback on the 1-minute candle off the SEC halt when it broke through the 230, like I mentioned. The stock was a poor trade with many SEC halts due to volatility. Even though it was my first profit, still was not a good trade. I got stuck in a trade with another SEC halt. Sold it as soon as it reopened. I luckily got filled. at the high of day. The stock got halted again for the remainder of the day for looking for news. And then I looked back afterwards, and I found out there was a NASDAQ delisting warning, which could explain the run-up because the stock was below the NASDAQ requirements of $1. So all things being considered, this was my first profitable trade. So I was happy with that, but I was, not successful in terms of following a plan.